This is the STRIPSACK DUALCAST. I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the fat man.
All right, Monday's games: Chiefs 26, Bills 17. Chiefs had an extremely good running game, and Bills just, again, second game in a row, they just looked like shit.
Yeah, something crazy. This is like the first time Andy Reid ran the ball this much. You got Edwards-Helaire going out there for 26 carries, 161 yards. My only question is, Le'Veon who?
All right, Cardinals 38, Cowboys 10. Zeke, hold on to the rock.
Yeah, here's my impression. It's like, Coach, I knocked the ball. Where'd it go? Bench his ass.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. NFC East is the worst division, I think, of all time.
Well, I think it's kind of easy, to beat up on the NFC East. The question is, how much are they beating up on each other? I mean, my personal opinion, it kind of looks to me, I think Philly's going to win that division. I know they only have one win, but I think they can go on a run. All the games they lost have been close. It's not like they're getting blown the hell out of the water. Dallas just looked like absolute ass tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the team in first place right now. And to be honest, they could very much be the last place team in every other division in football. I can't understand how you give up 2 turnovers in the first half, then go 3 and out, or actually you kick the field goal, and then on the very next play for the Cardinals, 80 yards, 21-3. There's no chance to win the game.
I just don't know how, Zeke should be Zeke's the top 5 running back. He's top 5 running back. He's out there playing. It's not raining. That ball ain't wet. Carry the rock, son. It ain't that heavy. I think it was 2 possessions in a row. He dropped it on the ground. You can't do that. Not when you're getting paid that much money.
Yeah, Zeke was like Aaron Rodgers, throwing a pick 6 and then on the next possession throwing another pick. That wasn't all his fault, but still, it was like it's kind of the same thing. Like Zeke is the leader of this football team right now with Dak out. We need the stars on the Dallas Cowboys to step up. They can't be doing what they're doing now.
Maybe Zeke can't take the heat.
I don't know. I look at that NFC East. Philly still has to play. They still have to play most of the West. You got the Seahawks, the Cardinals yet. They got the Saints yet. The only games I really see them winning is games in their division. And I can't sell anything on them because they have to prove it against the Giants. They have to blow them out. They have to, because right now
I don't think it doesn't matter if you win by 1. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 or 51. Doug Peterson, he's a pretty good coach. He's got a Super Bowl on the resume. I put more faith in him than I do the rest of that division.
But here's the thing: what makes a good football team? They gotta blow out the bad teams. That's just the bottom line. How can fans get behind their team when the only games that they win is in the worst division of all time? There's not going to be a single team with even a 500 record, and that's if Dallas and Philadelphia win out all the way to week 9.
Hey, you just got to win your division to get in the dance, baby. Get your ticket to the dance, and then it's a new season.
Yeah, that's another topic. But, I mean, it's regarded that the worst division was in 2010, and that was the NFC West. The Seahawks were 7-9. The Rams were 7-9. The 49ers were 6-10, and the Cardinals were 5-11. That division is going to be better than this division, hands down. Hands down. And at this point in 2010, Seattle was 3-2, and the Cardinals were also 3-2. They actually had winning teams in the division. That's regarded as the worst in football. I don't know.
Yeah, but still, the winner of that division was 7-9, got in the playoffs and won a playoff game. I think you might see the same thing this year with the East. They're going to come in and they're going to surprise somebody. Somebody's going to sleep on them. They're going to come in. I think they could steal a game come playoff time, at least one.
So let's think that if you're they're going to be the number 4 seed, and they're going to be playing the number 5 seed. I don't know.
It's all right.
I don't think that they could host. I at least don't let them host a playoff game. I think it's embarrassing.
Just go in there and hit them with the shocker.
If Philly wins
shocker.
If Philly wins a 6-9-1, how the hell do you respect that? You're thinking that maybe the Cardinals or the Niners, maybe even the Rams get knocked out of the playoffs. Then you got the Saints, Buccaneers, and Carolina all look pretty decent. Well, one of them looks pretty good. And then you got the Bears and the Packers, you know? Hell, the Lions could win that division. I think the Lions look like a better football team than all 4 of those teams. I don't know.
Moving on. Matt Stafford love.
I do love Matt Stafford. All right, moving on. Baker Mayfield or Case Keenum?
Look, man. Yeah, Baker had a bad game yesterday. Playing division rivals, playing Steelers. He was also playing hurt. You know, they pulled him for the second half. Maybe he shouldn't even have been out there. I don't see – you can't pull him. He's got chemistry with them guys. Jarvis Landry likes him. Odell Beckham likes him. You don't want to throw the chemistry of your team off in the middle of the season. I think you let him go out there and play as long as he's healthy. You know, he can turn around. He can hand the ball off. I don't see why you would want to pull the trigger and put Keenum in. You're going to destroy the kid's confidence.
Here's my argument. They're one of the best run teams in the NFL, even without Chubb. They have Odell Beckham, and they've got Jarvis Landry, and they got Austin Hooper, and this guy can't get it together. He's got weapons over there that, you know, somebody like Joe Burrow would like right now. You know, he's got weapons out there that not a lot of players in his position have. So what I'm thinking is, how hard is it to keep running the football? I say give Case Keenum a chance. You know, they went 10 straight in an NFC Championship appearance with the Vikings. Give him a shot. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Well, the worst that could happen is you destroy – Baker's confidence is probably pretty shitty the way it is with how he played the other day.
He looks pretty confident in those – looks pretty confident in those commercials he's doing.
Yeah, so does Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Let's not get into commercials.
Yeah, but at least Aaron and Patrick, they're good. You know,
but is Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield is the face of that franchise. You know,
I would have to say that maybe they should make the face of that franchise not Baker Mayfield.
And the other thing is, you know, Case Keenum as a starter is 28-42. Baker's 16-19, so they both have losing records. I think you give Baker a chance to turn it around. Yeah, Keenum's a vet, but I don't know. I think you give Baker a chance to turn it around. If you bench Baker, and Keenum comes in and he plays lights out, what do you do with Baker Mayfield?
Trade him.
Does anybody want him? For all the reasons you just said. Does anybody want him?
Who knows? Maybe he could be a backup for the rest of his career. That's what happened to Colt McCoy.
He can go to New England and back up Cam Newton and Bill Belichick, turn him into what he can be.
Sure. Regardless, I don't see that offense doing much worse with Case Keenum. All right, Jets taking.
I don't think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't think it'll be worse, but I think you can't throw it up in the air like that in the middle of the season. Who's the leader of this football team? I want my quarterback to be my leader of the offense.
I want you to think about something. He's had 3 head coaches in his career. All right, they've been shit, and shit. What's the common denominator? Him.
He hasn't had a steady head coach.
He's still the common denominator in all this. You know?
Yeah, but systems change. It's hard to get a grasp. I mean, we've seen it time and time again where a lot of times quarterbacks, you know, it isn't until their 3rd year with this same head coach that they start performing.
Right. And then you got Kyler Murray over there. Then what?
Well, this is his second year with Cliff Kingsbury.
I mean, they were successful last year.
And I mean, let's face it, Freddie Kitchens, he was a bum.
I don't know. They're 4-2 right now, and that team is on a ready to win now basis. You know, how much longer are they going to be on a ready to win now basis while you keep giving a chance to Baker Mayfield because people like the guy? Why didn't Tim Tebow get that chance?
That team is young. Tebow, that's a whole nother topic.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, if Tim Tebow can win a playoff game and never start a game after that, why the hell can't Baker Mayfield, who can't get to the playoffs, get benched for somebody else?
Not only did Tebow not start another game after that, they didn't even let him play quarterback after that.
Yeah,
you know, I got lots of Tebow love.
Well, why don't we go see what Baker Mayfield does at fullback? Let Case Keenum hand him the rock.
Put him at tight end.
All right, moving on here. Jets tanking for Trevor. What do you think?
Is there any other reason they would suck as bad as they do? I mean, they looked lost on Sunday. They looked lost. Sam Darnold, yeah, he might end up being okay. You just don't know. I think what they want to do is they're going to keep Gase around all season. They're going to keep trucking it. And then they're going to go ahead. They're going to get that number one pick, and then they're going to grab Trevor, and they're going to run Sam Darnold out of town. They're going to put all the blame on him.
I say they make a trade. You know, if that's the ultimate goal is to tank for Trevor over there, I say they trade Sam Darnold while they still have, while they still have some value with them. Now, there's
you don't want to
plenty
trade
of teams that will take him.
You don't want to trade him now because then everybody's going to know who you're taking in the draft. You're not going to have that little bargaining chip. We saw it happen to the Cardinals the year they drafted Kyler Murray. Everyone knew they were shipping Josh Rosen out of town. So even though they had that number one pick, they didn't have any leverage if they did decide they wanted to stick with Josh Rosen leading up to the draft.
I don't know. Maybe you trade Sam Darnold to the Browns.
Well, here's the other thing to think about, right? A lot of people like Sam Darnold. It is what it is. Their college careers, Trevor Lawrence, 68% completion percentage, 81 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. You know what Sam Darnold's was? He had a 65% completion percentage. He only threw 57 touchdowns, and he had 22 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence is the man, and he's gonna be the man for the New York Jets.
I'm not going to argue with that. All I'm going to argue is trade him while he still has value. What's the worst that can happen?
He would have
Who's
value
better,
even after it.
Who's better, Baker Mayfield, Case Keenum, or Sam Darnold? There you go.
Case Keenum.
He might be. But still, do something with the guy instead of somebody that I don't want to see them waste his career on. He's got all that. He's got arm talent. He's smart. He's a playmaker. You watch Sam Darnold, there's flashes of greatness. You watch those other two guys, you're just like, man.
Well, here's the thing that I hate to go back to it, but the thing that turns me off with Case Keenum is you brought it up. Minnesota, you went on a 10-win run, got them deep in the playoffs. You know, even Minnesota knew, hey, this isn't the guy. Denver dives in, swoops him up, gives him a contract. He's out of Denver the next year. There's got to be a reason, right? And I'm sure them scouts and them coaches, they know a hell of a lot more than we do, unless they're named Adam Gase. Still coming for your job, by the way, bud. You better look out. But
this time with a Cardinals hat, a Dolphins jersey.
I just don't see it, you know.
All right. This is how we did this week. I finished with a record of 8-6. I've got a 1-game lead on the FATMAN, who's 7-7. And we're going to go in and talk about our power rankings as of right now for week 6. We're going to start up at number 1. I got the Titans at number 1. They look like a complete football team. I know that they had to come back and play a close game, the Texans, and they had to win in overtime. But Derrick Henry is probably the best running back in football right now. He's a beast. Nobody wants to tackle him one-on-one. Ryan Tannehill is efficient. You know, he's got the most game-winning drives in the last 2 years. And, yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of teams beating them right now.
So I went ahead and I put the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 1. Big Ben's back. He's rocking it. Defense looks good. Offense looks good. They're really clicking. They're 5-0 too. They're going to win their division. And Mike Tomlin's a damn good football coach. And just look at last year. Just look at last year with Mike Tomlin. All the shit they put up with, and they were still a decent football team. Still, the highlight of the year was Myles Garrett trying to kill Mason Rudolph, I think. But that's beside the point. Just so we know, if Mason Rudolph said what everyone saying he said to Myles Garrett, well, I think Myles Garrett was in the right. I'd have hit him in the head with his own helmet too.
Oh, would have been nice to see helmet attempted murder times 2.
Yeah, manslaughter on the football field.
Yeah. All right, number 2, I got the Steelers. Besides the Titans, I feel like that's the other team that is a complete football team. They run pretty well. Who the hell is Chase Claypool? The guy's amazing.
Crazy
5 touchdowns on the season.
The crazy part is we kind of flop picks here. I went ahead and I put the Tennessee Titans at number 2 for all the reasons you just listed. Again, goddamn Tannehill.
God, you love Tannehill. All right. At 3, I got the Seahawks, and it was kind of tough to put them there, but they are undefeated. They have one of the worst defenses in NFL history in terms of yards per game, but they have 10 turnovers on the year. And Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams hasn't been on the field together since the first quarter of the Patriots game. I really want to see how they do together in tandem, and I think we're going to get that week 7 against the Cardinals.
So I went ahead and I put Seattle at number 3 as well. Just one name, Russell Wilson. You can't – the guy's running around out there. He's just something special, boy. And that connection between him and DK Metcalf, he's got DK Metcalf running around out there looking like Terrell Owens.
Yeah. Number 4, I got the Chiefs. Kansas City's played some ugly games this year. And, they found a way to win. It's one of those things like good football teams find ways to win even in ugly games. And, last night we saw the Kansas City Chiefs put on a clinic on the ground game. So not only they're the other team that is looking like a complete football team, and that's pretty scary that they can run that efficiently with Patrick Mahomes.
I went ahead and I put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this slot after the beating they put on the Packers. I don't see how you don't, because the Packers are a good football team. We touched on it a little bit. They force Aaron Rodgers into his first pick 6 since he was running around wearing diapers. I just don't. It's Tampa. I put Tampa Bay here. I see them probably, even though I have Seattle ranked ahead of them, I have a good feeling that that's going to be the NFC Championship game we're looking at is Seattle-Tampa Bay.
I hope so. Number 5, I got the Ravens. Lamar Jackson. The guy's amazing. He might not be the best passer I've ever seen, but if he could somehow start dialing in like Michael Vick did, when he was with the Eagles, and Lamar Jackson just starts doing the same shit, this guy's going to be damn near unstoppable.
So at 5, this is where I went ahead and I slid Kansas City in. Defending champs. They're running the ball. Like you said, Hilaire looks good. Mahomes is something special. They got Le'Veon Bell coming next week. It's going to be hard to stop that offense.
All right. Number 6, I got the Chicago Bears. In my opinion, that is the best defense in the NFL right now, leading by Khalil Mack, who likes to just throw linemen on their ass with one arm. That's who I got.
Hadouken!
It was more like a Zangief power slam. Just
Khalil Mack out there choke slamming dudes. So here's where I went ahead and I put the Green Bay Packers in. Yeah, they had a shitty game yesterday, but you can't discount him for one bad game. Aaron Rodgers, he's looking like they did the year they won the Super Bowl. So I don't want to count them out just yet. Not over one bad game.
Number 7, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a really good football team, and I have to agree with you that, you know, the NFC Championship game might have to either go through Tampa Bay or they're just going to make it there. Regardless, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, goat-to-goat connection was on display, and that defense taking the ball away from Aaron Rodgers, and Ndamukong Suh leading the way on that D-line. That's a good football team.
So at 7, that's where I went ahead and I put Baltimore in for the reasons you said. Lamar Jackson, he's good. He's running around out there looking like Randall Cunningham. Only he could throw the ball like Randall did the year he was in Minnesota. That defense is pretty solid. I like Baltimore. I like Baltimore a lot. I just don't think they're as good as the Steelers. They're not as complete.
I honestly can't wait for them to play. All right, number 8, I got the Green Bay Packers. They shanked last game against the Bucs. They just looked completely outmatched. But, they tend to do that. They did it last year. They got dominated by the Chargers even, and Chargers were shit last year. So, I mean, they're probably going to have another game like that and probably win all the other ones. And I even though that Aaron Rodgers had a bad game, you never see him do games like that. I mean, he's going to ball out next week, guaranteed.
So at 8, I went ahead and I put the Chicago Bears. In Foles, I trust. A lot of Foles love. And like I said, Khalil Mack's just out there chokeslamming people.
All right, number 9, I have the Buffalo Bills. I like Josh Allen, but he's got to play. He's got to play better than the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this guy being a potential MVP candidate. And the last 2 weeks, he's kind of stunk it up. The Bills just look like shit playing good teams. And, in order for them to be a championship caliber team, you got to beat good teams. And right now, they haven't showed us that.
I don't know. I think toward the end of the game tonight, they had a chance to win. Yeah, he had a rough game. It was raining. The ball gets slippery, hard to hold on to. And I think up until like the last 6-7 minutes of the fourth quarter, Josh Allen only had about 66 yards. But here, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get into my number 9 pick. And this is a strange one, but I'm taking the Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden. That's all. John Gruden. They've done a good job putting that team together. A lot of speed there. I like the Raiders. They're going to shock a couple people. And they beat the Chiefs.
I just want to let everybody know that just because he's got a Dolphins hat on and a Dolphins jersey on, he's got a picture of John Gruden tattooed on his left ass cheek.
Oh, I got a picture of him right next to my bed. I kiss it every night before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's my little Chucky.
While you wear your Brett Favre jersey.
My baby Chucky.
All right.
I have a dual jersey. It's half Marino, half Favre. It's number 14 and says Fitzpatrick on the back though.
I like it. Number 10, I have the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he's got 16 total touchdowns on the year right now. And I don't think anybody's really talking about how well this kid's playing. He wasn't very efficient tonight, but I mean, he's a dual threat that has DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk. His offense is great.
He's pretty special. He's a little guy that can get down behind the big old hogs on the offensive line, and you lose sight of him. Next thing you know, he ran down the field for 20 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this guy's got Lamar Jackson wheels with like, I don't know, like an arm like Joe Burrow. He's got good arm.
Yep.
Just very strong. All right.
Imagine how dangerous he would be with a brain like Peyton Manning to add to that.
So he may be smarter than we think. We don't know.
He might develop into that, right?
Yeah, he's got the talent.
So my number 10 pick is where I went ahead and I put the Buffalo Bills in. I mean, you can't – they're still atop their division. Yeah, Josh Allen looked trashy last night. They got drubbed last week by the Titans, but Titans are a good football team. Tonight, yeah, I can make excuses for them all day long. Ball's wet, ball's slippery, blah, 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 blah. I still put them at 10.
Man, I wonder how this is going to change next week. All right, Thursday night, Giants at Eagles. I think it's going to be a dumpster fire of a game, or I really believe that the Eagles are going to blow them out. And rightfully so. They absolutely need to. Like, somebody in this NFC East has to take control, and in a nice way. What do you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. I'm taking the Eagles in this game. Like I said, all the games they lost were close, and if Dallas doesn't get their shit together, then Philly's gonna be winning the division easy. I trust Carson Wentz more than I trust Danny Dimes, even though I'd like to see Jalen Hurts get some time in there. And Doug Peterson's a good coach, and I think it's gonna be really hard on the Giants until Saquon's able to come back, and not NFL Saquon. I want to see Penn State Saquon. I want to see him in his best form out there just tearing guys up. You know, it's really sad that he's been hurt the last couple of years here and there, nicked up, banged up. I get it. It's hard to key in on the guy when it's all the offense has, but I really have a lot of love for the kid. I really want to see him at his best and just out there being a monster on the gridiron, because that's what he's capable of.
Want me to get you a tissue?
Yeah, I do.
I shed a tear for Saquon's balls.
Yeah, I want to lick them.
I thought so.
Chocolate salty balls.
Nah, man, Philly has to do something, and I don't know if they're gonna have Miles Sanders this game. Like, he's one of my favorite players, in the league too. I really like that kid. All right, next topic. We kind of seen Aaron Rodgers stink it up. Josh Allen kind of stunk it up. Who's in this MVP discussion right now? Who do you got?
Who do I got? I got a monster. He's down there in Tennessee. I like Derrick Henry. I'd like to see the running backs finally get their due and finally be respected the way they should be, like they were back in the day. It's an undervalued position, and I don't understand why. It's behind quarterback. That's your most important position on the field. He's got 588 yards so far this year, 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 4.8 yards a carry. I like Derrick Henry. He can go off for 200 yards at any minute. I mean, how do you debate that?
Well, I mean, my obvious pick is going to be Russell, but we're not even going to talk about the 19 touchdowns and the 129 quarterback rating. I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about who potentially could challenge him for that spot. I like Derrick Henry, but I'm also starting to like Kyler Murray. I mean, Cam Newton got in with 35 touchdowns and 15 rushing. He actually might duplicate that stat. Maybe even a little better. I mean, Kyler –
potential's there.
Yeah, Kyler might get 50 total touchdowns this year, and nobody's talking about that.
Well, I hear a lot about him because being out here in Arizona. But
yeah, well, we got NFC East by, so people are still thinking that Dak Prescott's going to win the MVP.
He might.
Hey,
all MVP is about is who sold the most jerseys this year.
There you go. Who would be another one?
I think Aaron Rodgers. You put Aaron Rodgers in there.
I think he kind of fell down for me.
He had one bad game.
That's all it takes.
Probably still one of the most talented arms we've seen. I'm not taking him out of that discussion yet.
I'm not saying he's not in the discussion. I'm just saying that he kind of falls down for me. That's all it takes is one game.
I don't know. I think
Russell was magically not in the MVP discussion the year that Cam Newton won it after one game.
I like Derrick Henry, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and hell, just because he's the GOAT, I'll put Brady at 4. He's going to sell the most jerseys. He went to a new team, shiny new jerseys. You got all the old Patriots fans grabbing up the Brady jerseys, the Buck jerseys with Brady's name on them. You got all the people down in Tampa Bay snatching up Brady jerseys. And I like Lamar Jackson. So that's probably my 5 for MVP.
I'm gonna put Aaron Donald in that discussion too. I mean,
That'd be beautiful.
he's a monster. I hate the Rams, but I can't stop watching him when he plays. He's a beast.
That'd be beautiful. I'd love to see the defense represented, especially defensive linemen.
I got a conversation ready for you in like 10 years from now that he is the best defensive tackle to ever play the game. Top 5 lineman, guaranteed.
Yeah, he might be. I mean, Reggie White was a defensive end.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got there. You got anything?
No, that's about it. Just, make sure you guys are checking us out on Spotify, Anchor, and we just got picked up today by Pocket Casts. So you should be able to listen to us on the go, the drive to work, lunchtime, or when you're getting paid to take a poop at work.
All right, guys. We'll see you. I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the Fat Man.